Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yab about them to you guys. And that's exactly what we're doing in today's video. In today's video, we're actually going back to my roots because I missed them. Saying that makes it sound like I'm gonna read like books I read when I was a child. No, but there's a specific genre of books that I will always say is my favorite, and this year, I wouldn't say I've fallen out of love with it, I've fallen in love with a bunch of other genres, so it's kind of been pushed to the side, and that is in fact romance. And all of a sudden, I realized I kind of miss it. And so it's the fall time, so I was like, let's spend some time reading a bunch of fall romances together. When we were moving into fall was the point where I was the most like, I'm a little bit tired of romance, and I was very into fantasy. So therefore, I kind of made my CBR based on that, and therefore only put one romance. But that is the romance we'll be starting with. Just like get a little bit off of my CBR too. The Fall of Bradley Reed. By Morgan Elizabeth, which this is the third book in a series. That is the Season for Revenge series, which is "'Tis the Season for Revenge," and then it is Cruel Summer, which I've read both of those, and I think I rated them like 5 and a 4.5 stars. I love Morgan Elizabeth. I hope so badly that she comes out with another Christmas book this year because I love her Christmas books. "'Tis the Season for Revenge" and Big Nick Energy. Amazing. I think she has one other I haven't read yet, but that's not the point. We'll get into that once we start posting Christmas stuff. For now, I want to read this, and I've been wanting to read this since I finished the summer one in the summer, but I didn't want to start a fall book in the summer. This follows a character from that book. Okay, so I actually completely lied in this clip about what the book is about. So basically, the girl in the book gets left 10 minutes before she's supposed to get married and spends the entire book trying to get revenge on her ex. So she's basically trying to get revenge on an ex, and meanwhile she has like an FBI agent that's like following her every move, trying to keep an eye out for her and like low-key helping her, and it's a romance between the two of them. And I just hope this is gonna remind me of why it is I love romance. I'm yapping a lot. Honestly, I should shut up and we should get right into this book. So, the lighting isn't the best, but I feel like we need to talk right now because I did in fact finish. Let me just get it up here. The Fall of Bradley Reed. I loved this book, and when I woke up this morning I was like, okay, I'm not gonna rush through it because I'm really enjoying it, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if I have to read more in it tomorrow. And yet I finished it today. The only thing I had like thought about that I don't think I'm gonna end up doing was having a movie night because I don't really want to anymore. But I loved this book. I don't know what to rate it. I'm gonna like write my rating or mention it at the end of the video, anything once I decide. Because I am between a 4.75 and a 5-star. I have like the smallest complaint, and it is so tiny that I'm like, is it really big enough for me to not give it 5 stars? I have the 5-star feeling, and if I didn't sit and think on it for a minute, I would have given it 5 stars. Let me try and like tell you guys my complaint, even though, again, so hard without spoilers. But well, I can tell you guys the plot. You know the plot is that this girl gets dumped right before her wedding, or like literally she gets a message 10 minutes before her wedding where he's like, I can't do this. And then she wants to get revenge on him. And meanwhile, for a different reason, there's an FBI agent that's like, where his job literally is to stalk her, kind of, but it's not really stalking because he's an FBI agent, so he can do it, but like he's like looking up her searches and listening in on her phone calls and all of that stuff. And then these two people meet, and he ends up actually really liking her when he meets her in reality. My complaint is, and I'm not sure if this is a minor spoiler, so if it is a minor spoiler, it will take me like 10 seconds to say, but I'll put something on the screen right here, and once it's gone, I'm done minor spoiling this book. Great. Basically, I really wished that he would have told her that before they did the deed. I just had a really hard time. I enjoyed the spice. Do not get me wrong, Morgan Elizabeth knows how to write spice. But in the back of my mind, it constantly popped up that I was like, he's lying to her. And for some reason, continuously lying to her and then having sex with her is kind of awful in my book. And I couldn't really get behind that. And I knew, of course, it was because the third act conflict had to be her finding out that he was an FBI agent and stuff like that. But it was just, it's like my minor thing that I wish I could change about this book. Other than that, however, loved it. Also, we're done with the spoilers now, so welcome back to the people who might have skipped. We're back, and I did in fact love this book, but I do think I'm gonna land on a 4.75. The more I think about that minor thing I had an issue with, the bigger an issue it becomes for me. So, a 4.75, but still great for a little romance book. I feel like her books are very easy to like fly through. This specifically, the female main character, I have never related more to a character in my life. The whole, like, the biggest plot point for her was her being a very big people pleaser. And every single time that was brought up, I was left with this, like, she's, like, it felt like the author was writing about me at some of the stuff that, like, went on. Of course, there were some parts that I didn't relate to, like her mother was terrible and I love my mom, but like, all in all, related so hard, and that probably plays a huge part in why I love this book. Like with all of Morgan Elizabeth's book, I think it takes a certain person. I would mention her in like a recommendations video, but I wouldn't, like, I have friends where I know if they asked for a recommendation, I wouldn't mention her because I knew they wouldn't like some of the stuff. If you don't like like modern day references, but specifically like Taylor Swift references, because there are a lot of those. But I don't mind. Actually, I kind of love it. I am a basic bitch, and I love whenever something I love is mentioned in a book. So she mentioned Taylor Swift and Noah Khan, but like nothing big. Like she didn't keep talking about TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. But I do know some people can find the like Taylor Swift thing a little bit annoying, and I do get that. Then she isn't an author for you. I loved it. I loved it. I wish we maybe spent a little bit more time getting to know our male main character. He was very amazing in the romantic setting that we got to see him in, but we spent the first 25% of the book getting to know her and really got into her brain and her situation, and I don't think we gave him the same time of day. I feel like he was more, which honestly, we love when the man is kind of a secondary character, because he kind of was, honestly. But I did still love him. Like I said, in the romantic setting that we did get to see him in, I just wish we had seen maybe more of him as him, if that makes any sense. So I guess a 4.75 is actually pretty okay for a book that I really, really loved. Yeah. I don't think I put the clip in, but I did end up finding out that she has another Christmas romance coming out late October that I will in fact be reading this Christmas. Possibly the first book I will be reading this Christmas, but we'll get more into all of that once I start posting Christmas stuff. For now, I love this. I'm going to not read anymore today, but when we do pick back up a book tomorrow, it will be You Again. I'm not going into my room to get it, but I'll see you all once I start that. I started You Again. I didn't get that far into it until I sat down like an hour, maybe two ago, and picked this back up, which means that I'm now 26% through this book. And I'm on page 107, chapter 6. And so far I'm actually really enjoying it. I feel like it's gone by really fast, and not like in like a rushed way, just like I feel like I sat down on page 20 and then I blinked and now I'm on page 100. The first part of this book so far has been like time jumps with them meeting different sorts of ways. First time they met, hated each other. Second time, hated each other a little bit more. Third time, we had a little bit of development, and now they've met and they've just kind of agreed that they want to be friends. She says that she doesn't think she's ever, or like she doesn't remember the last time she made a friend that didn't just end up with her having sex with them. And so they've agreed that right now they feel like they both just need platonic friendships. And I feel like that is the plot of the story, which means that so far all I've read is kind of the build-up. And I have enjoyed it. I am interested in seeing where this goes. I'm interested to see if it continues following When Harry Met Sally kind of close, because I feel like so far, of course, she has changed like a major things in it. They don't like each other for different reasons. They met differently. All of the situations have been different. But I just feel like the overall plot is very much When Harry Met Sally. And I get the fact that it's inspired by it, but I just feel like she also has to be careful for it to just not become When Harry Met Sally in a different format. But like I said, I've actually really been enjoying this so far. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm annoyed at any of the characters. I feel like that was one thing I heard a lot of people saying, is that they were annoyed at the characters. I haven't really gotten that yet. Of course, that could still happen. I do still have like 74% left of this book. So far, that's not happened. I don't love them, and I'm not like relating heavily to them or feeling super connected to them or anything, but I'm not having any bad feelings towards being in their heads right now. And I could see this going a really interesting way. I'm very hopeful that we get a lot of this book from their like friendship point of view, which I would like for this book to actually take some time to like establish their friendship before we build on top of the romantic parts. So that's kind of my thoughts and hopes so far. I will continue reading. Alright, truth of this clip, I have filmed it twice, and both of the times I've been yapping for over 10 minutes, and I wanted to sum up my thoughts a little bit quicker. Basically, we're DNFing. I made it to page, I took out the bookmark, so of course I don't remember. I made it to page 257, and oh, I hate this. I'm gonna make this short, because that was the entire point of filming this clip a third time, was to make it short. I can see how this can be someone's favorite book, and I definitely think maybe if I've read it another time and I was looking for something different than what I was thinking this was gonna be, this could have been a really great book for me. Right now, however, it's not giving. I'm not, this is why it's been taking me so long. I don't know how to get my thoughts out there. Okay, let's start with one thing. I said I wanted them to explore the friendship for a really long time. Didn't do that. We got like bits and pieces of friendship, which I really enjoyed that part. And I enjoyed the fact that we get these two characters going through kind of the worst point in their lives together. And I like the idea of that. However, I wish we spent more time on the friendship and on the friendship, like healing them before going the step further. I got to the point where they were about to go the step further, and I was like, no, I don't. That was actually what like did it for me. I had already been a little bit like mixed opinions throughout the entire book. I was like, I'm not sure I get where this is going. I wouldn't call it a rom-com, which, yeah, romantic comedy. I wouldn't call it that. I haven't been laughing. And I also get the fact that it can be a heavy book, but because I don't relate to the characters and I don't feel emotionally connected to the characters or the story, I'm not feeling it. I had maybe one moment where I was a little bit like, oh, like I feel bad for the character. But again, not enough for me to actually think that means I was enjoying this. Also, it's not really a fall romance. You look at the cover and you're like, oh, that's so cute, fall. It takes place in the winter time. Like most of it. So far, we've had 2 New Year's Eve parties and a little bit of winter, mentions of Christmas, and maybe like 1 mention of fall. And that's not like against the book, but because I went into it expecting a fall romance, not really there either. And I guess that's mostly it. Like my real way to sum up everything I've been saying in all of these clips is just I'm not feeling emotionally connected to the characters, the story, the plot, anything. And I just don't think this book is for me, at least not for right now at this point in my life. But I would still recommend you give this a try. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, this was a terrible book, I hate it, blah, 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 and never read it. Give it a try. If you think this could be for you, give it a try. Because this could 100% be your favorite book and just not be for me. I am, however, DNFing this. I'm also going to bed. I'm at my mom's place. And I went to book club earlier, everything like that. I think we're going to find out one more book for this video. Possibly. I will edit it down right now before I go to bed and then decide if I want another romance. And if I want another romance, we'll start it tomorrow. If not, I will see you tomorrow to like finish this video off. I feel really bad because I love this cover so badly. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Good morning. It has been a while. First of all, it's been a while since I feel like I've sat right here talking to the camera, and it has been a couple days. I do not remember the last thing I said. I think it was just me at night talking about DNFing you again, and then I think I might have included some of me cleaning my room and stuff like that, but it has been a couple of days now because I was waiting to get the final book for this video. I knew I needed to include this, If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I just went to my mom's place to get a few books that she bought me. A full haul is up on my TikTok if you're curious about the other books. There is one more fall romance, but it is currently Tuesday and this video needs to be up Saturday. So we have a little bit of a challenge ahead of us, but I feel like this could be so fast-paced. It is, however, so much thicker than I thought. I should have looked into that and then chosen the other book I could have read for this video, but I can't push this off any longer. And honestly, if I don't finish it, then I'll just give you guys my like thoughts on what I think of it Friday, and then it'll be that. I couldn't figure out any other fall book I wanted to read. I had to. Let me just include it. The other I was thinking about was People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. Right now, however, this is top priority. So we're gonna start with this, even though, okay, that didn't show anything, even though it is in fact a little bit thicker, but it's fine because I'm so excited about this. Oh, you have no idea. I am planning on trying to get through it as fast as possible. Also for you guys, because it would be really bad for me to be like, oh yeah, and by the way, now we're done, but I'm not done with the book. So I'm hoping it's gonna be really fast paced. I'm thinking it, from the things I've heard, it sounds like the kind of book you can sit down and just go through. Also, the text is pretty big, so that does help. I have heard so many good things about this. You have no idea. This has been everywhere. Let's actually get into it. I'm just gonna read the back because I suck at like reading and then translating stuff. So we're just gonna read the back together really quickly because I've just heard like quick, small things that has gotten me like, yup, I need that book. Also the cover. There's a dog. Ooh, look at it. And like her outfit and the fact that that is low-key Stars Hollow. That is the thing in the middle of the town square. Like, you actually can't tell me that it's not, I don't remember what it's called, but it's where they do like the basket sale and stuff like that. Anyway, my new next door neighbor Cliff seems to have everything figured out. Small town golden boy, check. Single dad, whatever. Single dad, check. Hot baker forearms, I didn't notice them, I swear. I, on the other hand, don't have anything figured out. Trust me, I didn't think taking over my mom's dream bed and breakfast in Copper Run, Vermont was going to be easy, but apparently my scones belong in the garbage with my small talk skills. Cliff is inescapable. His charm and the way he wears flannel and even his pastries make not wanting to be friends with him and his daughters pretty hard. Friends? I can make friends. That's safe. That's safe, except I'm leaving in 3 months, so ask me why I'm thinking about kissing my hot neighbor. Like, that sounds so cute, and it's like small town, neighbor romance. I'm pretty sure she's like divorced, and like it says, going back to the small town to take over her mom's dream of opening a bed and breakfast, and she's like, I have no idea what I'm doing, moves in, there's a hot single dad neighbor. There's a hot single dad neighbor in this small town, and I've never been to Vermont because I've only ever been to New York in the United States, and I'm sorry, but I'm not planning on coming back to the United States as long as it is the way it is right now. But Vermont, I've seen a lot of vlogs and stuff like that from Vermont in the fall time, and it just seems like the perfect setting for this book. I'm pretty sure Copper Run is like fictional, however, I can't look it up. But I'm going to start this. I'm also baking another sourdough bread, but I'm not going to film that for this vlog because I already baked a sourdough bread in this vlog. I might show you guys the final product if it's good, but I'm filming it for TikTok. So we'll do that today, and I'm just going to try my very best to like stick to the fact that every time the dough has to just stand for an hour or 30 minutes, we will in fact be reading. Alright, so it's 8:30 8:30 and I'm trying to actually go to bed today at a reasonable hour. So the last like 3 nights I've been staying up way too late. Last night I literally ordered McDonald's at 10 p.m. And like normally this is the time when I would like, or like 9. I feel like 9 is a pretty good time for me to like get in bed. But I did make it really far into this book. I made it 59% into it, which is 298 pages. So we have like, why can't I figure out how much we have? We have like 100 and actually I would say we have about 200 pages left. Yeah, I think that's about correct. And my thoughts have not changed one bit. I still love this. I feel like the middle part, like, a part of me is like that could have been the end, but I'm really happy it was not the end. And not in like a, I don't feel like it's now dragging on sort of thing, because I feel like that was a little bit my fear for a second. I was like, shit, is it about to start dragging on? Because I was like, wait, this feels like a third act kind of drama thing, and it wasn't, and I'm kind of happy about that. I'm also, I don't know, I'm just really enjoying everything about this book. The pacing, the characters. I have cried so many times over so many different things. Some of them have been like small things, like something that normally don't think I would cry about, but because I feel like I'm so connected to this book and these characters, it just hit me that much harder. There's also some deep moments in this book, and a lot of them are kind of hitting a little bit too close to home for me. Not too close in like a bad way, but like she's basically hitting the nail on the head. Is that the saying? For me with this book, it was just, this is 100% shaping out to be one of my new favorite romances. And I'm not talking in like a, oh, this is a new 5-star. I'm talking in a 6-star. I'm talking this might be like my second favorite romance I've ever read in my life. And I feel like that is such high praise, and it's a lot to give while I'm still not done with the book. So much could change. I've pointed this out multiple times, but the end of romance books is often what kind of ruins it for me, because I feel like I have specific things I really, really hate in endings. Most of the time I hate third act breakups because I feel like they're always based on something stupid, and it's like half the time there's a little bit of miscommunication, and every single time I'm left with this like, just communicate. But a part of me is really trusting these characters to communicate, because I feel like they're doing a great job of that already. I'm very excited to see where this is going to go, because I do feel like it could go a lot of different ways. We're in November now, and it does go into December. Tomorrow, I also don't have a lot of plans other than possibly reading. Maybe we'll go like on a walk. If the weather's up for it, I kind of want to go on a walk on the, I want to say graveyard, but that just makes it sound like a really depressing place. But I've been there before. I've also filmed it for videos before, so you guys know what I'm talking about, hopefully. I kind of want to go over there because it looks like the leaves have really changed into a nice color. So maybe we'll pack the book and go read there. So right now, I'm honestly left with this, like, I think I could finish this tomorrow. And that's insane. Earlier today, remember when I just got this and I was like, I'm not sure I can finish this in this video. I am pretty confident I can finish this in this video, even though I have plans Thursday evening into Friday morning. But like, I'll read as much as possible tomorrow again. I'll start the morning off with reading while we're baking and stuff like that, and it's just, yeah. A part of me doesn't want it to end, and honestly, I'm already thinking about rereading and annotating this book, and I do want to like get on with my actual fall TBR, because this wasn't on it, because it didn't get any talk until after I made my TBR. And because I didn't want to put a book on my TBR that I would have to go out and buy. I just want to share every single good thing about the book, and specifically when I don't have anything negative to say, because right now I have nothing negative to say. Are there characters that are annoying me? Yes, but I'm pretty sure they are supposed to. Anytime he talks to his ex-wife, I'm like, I want to slap her a little bit. Part of me understands her a little bit, but that is just overshadowed by my anger towards her. I do think this book might actually break my heart. Like I said, I already cried a lot, and I'm so connected to all of this, and there's a lot of the storylines that I feel like their conclusion could rip my heart out. So I'm gonna go to bed, and then tomorrow we'll pick this back up and we will see if I can finish it tomorrow or what happens after. I can't believe this. Alright, it's officially the end of probably one of my favorite days so far of this fall, honestly, of a long time, but I had the perfect fall day. I'm not sure I got clips of all of it, but I did get clips of my walk, which, by the way, was one of my best walks ever. It wasn't a long walk or anything, but it was so pretty. The leaves were falling. They were officially a little bit late, if you ask me, but they are officially really starting to change colors and dropping, and it's just, and I saw a horse and I saw multiple squirrels, and normally they're very running around. These were they got close, not close enough that I would dare to go up to them and try to pet them or something, but I could walk by them and they would just stand and stare, and it was adorable. And I wrote in my journal. I didn't end up reading at the park because it started raining, so I kind of had to run home. And I baked sourdough bread. I'm not sure I filmed any clips of that. I posted a TikTok about it, so my TikTok's always in the description, but I'll also insert a little picture because it was a pumpkin sourdough with a little cinnamon pumpkin pie sugar swirl in it, and it was delicious. So me and my roommate ate that while we watched You've Got Mail. And on top of that, I finished the final book for this video. And I don't have much more to add because honestly it kept the exact same feelings for me as it did the last time I updated. Like I said, I read the last 200 pages of this today, and I started this yesterday, and this is a thick romance book for me to have finished in basically 2 sittings. And I think we have a new god tier romance book. This was 6 stars. 5 stars does not feel like enough. If you know me, you know my favorite romance read at all times will be Archer's Voice. It is annotated, and I have reread this twice. I've read it 3 times, but I've reread it twice. And this is still number 1, but we officially have the closest second. I normally never feel like this with books, but I kind of really want to go straight back into this and annotate it from the beginning. I'm not doing that because I have other things that are more important, and I'm scared. To be honest, I'm scared of rereading it, so we're gonna save it. But at the very latest next year, I promise you guys, I will be rereading and annotating this. If you know me, I love romance books, and I feel like romance books are still the type of books that I give 5 stars and then I forget about them. Not this one. Not this one. Nothing has changed for me. I will, however, warn you, if you're not as connected to these characters as I was, and the town and everything, you might think it's dragging on, but because I loved everything about these characters and the town and everything, I wasn't bored for a single moment. I cried so many times. I did. I was just so connected. Like, I feel like moments that aren't supposed to make you cry made me tear up. But like I said, we're not going to talk too much about it because not much has changed since my update last night, and I did speak for like 10 minutes last night about how much I loved this book. So it's just the same, and I ended up giving it a 6-star, and we have a new favorite read. This could be a Hallmark movie, but like not a shitty one. I know Hallmarks get all of their hate, and there are some really shitty Hallmark movies out there, but there are also some really, really great ones. And this would be the type of movie I would also rewatch every single year. For all we know, this is going to be my new book that I read every single fall or Christmas. Honestly, it's going to be the type where if it was a movie, people would be discussing whether it is a fall movie or a Christmas movie. And like, I'm like, read it whenever, like anytime between the 1st of November and the 1st of January, this would be the perfect read because it did have Christmas, like this much of it, I think, was like Christmas and New Year's. And then of course, most of it was in fact fall. And it was just perfect. Yeah, that's why I don't feel like I have that much to add, because I already went into all the things I loved last night, and that just kept going and got even better at some points even. And this has officially etched itself into my soul. And that sounds so dramatic, but I feel like it is not often that I finish a romance book, not even my 5-star romance books, and feel this deeply for it. Like, these deep feelings I would normally categorize for like general fiction or fantasy and stuff like that, but this really did it for me, and I will take no criticism. Obviously I will, but like, I just won't agree with it. It's one of those things where I feel like no matter how much criticism I hear, I will never be like, oh yeah, no, I get that. No, I don't. I will never get it if you hate this. Also, this cover, it makes me want to like have an entire poster of this cover in a large font in my room. But that is also the end of this video. And with that said, comment down below if you read any of these books, what you thought of them. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you disagree with me. And comment your like favorite fall activity to do with a little fallen leaves emoji. Yeah, leave a little fallen leaves emoji if you made it this far, so I know some people actually watched to the end. And I will let you all go on that note, so comment that. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a new video, which is every single Saturday. Might become more at some point, who knows. And with that said, I will see you all in the next video.